Who else out there is a Masters of the Universe fan? I am a huge fan. Anyone who knows me just even a little bit knows that I follow everything Masters of the Universe related. With that being said, there is a fan-made film called The Fall of Grayskull that was completely done through Kickstarter. It was written and directed by Daniel Benedict, and it just came out on YouTube, and I have to say, I loved it. There's been a lot of teasers that have been released throughout the past year as the movie's been being made. And there was a prequel comic book that came out to it that explained the setup for what the movie was going to be about. And it was incredible! Not only does Daniel pay tribute to the 1980s series, but he also brings it up to date for the classic series as well, by introducing some characters that I didn't think was going to be shown in this film. In all honesty, Christopher Yost, who is supposedly writing the new Masters of the Universe big budget movie, needs to bring in Daniel Benedict so that he can give him some expert advice on what direction they should take. But going back to The Fall of Grayskull, I can't express how much I really enjoyed it. The very beginning was narrated by Alan Oppenheimer. If you don't know who that is, he's been the voice actor for several different cartoons throughout the past several decades. He's an actor himself, and he did the voice of Skeletor back on the Masters of the Universe from the 1980s. Not to mention he also did Merman and a couple other voices along the way too. But just hearing his voice really got me going, and I was so happy to hear him being a part of this. And the story is adult, it's not kidified. There are parts here and there that play homage to the original 1980s series, but just little bits here and there. And it's more so for the fans who recognize that this is where that element came from. But there is death that takes place, there is fighting taking place, and all of which I'm very happy with. Without giving away any major plot points, I do want to say that the story opens up where the prequel comic book ends. If you go to fallofgrayskull.com, you can read the prequel comic book, and you can also watch the movie immediately afterwards. And this isn't really a spoiler, I just don't want you to miss out on anything, but don't stop watching at the credits. There is a mid-credit scene, and fingers crossed, I'm really hoping there's going to be a sequel made to this. And I also have to say that scene alone made me totally geekasm because, oh my god, that was awesome! Brian Cage is the actor that played He-Man, and oh my god, he is a huge beefcake, and I say this completely positive because I believe that He-Man should be a huge beefcake. He is a muscular guy, and I was happy for him being picked. Also, I loved his costume. They kind of modified it somewhat here and there, but it was very much the 1980s He-Man, which again, that is something that a lot of fans were really wanting to see. Mercedes Varble was casted as Teela. They didn't go with her traditional look, they went with the Battleground Teela look, where she's wearing a metal bikini. I'm not the biggest fan for that look on Teela, but hey, you know what? That is technically her battle armor. Alexandria Hendrick was casted as the role of Evil Lynn. Her look was different. This was something I'd never really seen before. It was very Evil Lynn though, and she was just as evil as she could be in this movie, so good casting for that too. Kevin Clark was Skeletor. You don't really see too much of his face being that it's covered up, but they did do some really good prosthetics with the whole skull face. But beyond a doubt, my favorite character in this was Triclops. He was played by Johnny Bilson. His voice and accent I thought was awesome, but besides that, his costume was beyond perfect. I kept waiting to see him show up even more. I liked how he was talking, I liked how he was kind of taunting the heroes, and I also liked his big fight what took place at the end of the movie. There's a cool soundtrack included in this movie too. Ball of Mayhem is a band that did a song simply called Fall of Grayskull, and I loved it. It was awesome. It was very rock, it was very modern, and it fit in line with this movie very well. So I thought this was awesome. It was incredibly well done. If you want to watch this, go to fallofgrayskull.com. Everything is listed right there, including the prequel comic, the music videos, and the movie itself. Not to mention all the pictures and all the extras and everything else that led up to the movie. So that's it for now. I really hope that Daniel Benedict does do a sequel to this. It really warrants one, and I hope that a lot of fans out there agree too. So anyways, I'll join you guys in another video very soon. Peace. Thanks for watching my video. When you get a chance, check out my Patreon site. It's patreon.com/gaycomicgeek. Patreon's a site to help out video makers, vloggers, people like me to continue on doing videos like the one you just saw. If you like what you see, you can become a patron and you can get to see some of the behind-the-scenes things that I only give out to patrons. Extra videos, pictures, things like that. Check it out when you get a chance. I'd really appreciate it. Peace.